Hey everybody, this is George from the Miller School of Music. I'm going to be doing lesson 3 of my Harmony and Theory series, intervals. All right, so an interval is a combination of two notes or the distance between them. The smallest interval in Western music is a half step, also known as a minor second. Two half steps make up a whole step, also known as a major second. On a guitar or bass, frets are divided into half steps, and every two make up a whole step. It is great importance to be able to identify intervals on your instrument, as well as being able to identify them by ear. So today's lesson, we're going to be going over the intervals of a major scale. So I'm going to start off playing the major scale, and I'm going to say the numbers. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1. Coming back. 1 or 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So the first interval we're going to talk about is the perfect unison. So this is the root to itself, the distance between the root to itself. So if I play this note twice, so that's a perfect unison. So next we have a major second, and that's the distance from the first note to the second note. And that's a major second. Okay, next is the major third. It's the distance from the root to the third note of the major scale. Another thing you could, there's two ways of playing these intervals. You can either play them one at a time, which is melodic, so it would be a melodic interval, or we can play them simultaneously together, which is what we call a harmonic interval. All right, next is a perfect fourth. Another device you can use to help you identify these intervals is thinking about melodies or songs that utilize these intervals, and it can definitely help to recall some of these intervals. So for example, when I hear this perfect fourth, I think about the Wedding March. And it helps me recognize that perfect fourth interval. Next we have a perfect fifth. And for this one I always think of Star Wars, which starts off, the first interval is a perfect fifth. 1, 5. All right, next we have a major six. And I think of the NBC theme. NBC, or 1, 6, 4. All right, and then the major seventh. Now, a couple of things you want to think about in terms of intervals, is recognize the intervals, is the distance. So when you hear an interval that's real close or small, like a major second, you can hear those two notes definitely sound very close together, especially when you play it harmonically. Whereas if like a major seven, you can definitely hear they sound pretty far apart. So it's a very wide interval. And another thing is the tension level. So when you hear a major seventh, because the 7 is a half step away from the 1, it wants to resolve. Because of that, it creates a lot of tension, especially played harmonically. And that's one of the things you can use to help recognize that sound. And that's a major 7. Very tense interval. It wants to resolve a half step. And the octave's the opposite. When you hear that octave, it's very at rest. It doesn't have a pull in any direction. So the melody for the octave, you can think of Over the Rainbow. All right. So the next exercise I'm going to do is I'm going to say the interval, and then I'll give you a second to play these, and then I'll give you, then I'll show you how to play them on my guitar. So I'm going to say the interval, give you a second to play them, and then I'll give you the right answer. So here we go. So I'm going to start off with a perfect fifth. So grab your guitar and play the shape of a perfect fifth. And it should look like this. So that's a perfect fifth. So next, perfect octave. And that should look like Right there. Perfect octave. How about a major third? Okay. A major 7. Perfect fourth. A major second. All right, next is major 6. Perfect fifth. Perfect unison. Major third. All right. The next exercise I'm going to do is I'm going to play the interval on my guitar, and I want you to try to guess what these are by ear. So try not to look it down in my hands. If you want to close your eyes, but you're trying to guess what the interval is by ear, I'll pause for a second, and then I'll give the right answer. All right? Here's the first interval. So that's a major sixth. Major second. Perfect fifth. Major 7. Perfect unison. Perfect octave. Perfect fourth. Major third. Perfect fifth. Major sixth. So there's a ton of different ways you guys can work on this. One of the things you can do is downloading free apps on smartphones. There's ear training apps, interval apps, whatever does the trick. Or just simple ways, just using your friends or peers or fellow musicians and quizzing yourselves, going back and forth by playing the intervals on your guitar or any instrument for that matter. But it's definitely a great thing to work on your ears, developing your ears. So this concludes today's lesson. All right, remember to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos. And everybody have a great day. I'll see everybody soon.